All right, I want to talk about adding real numbers, but adding a string of real numbers, okay? And we're going to use two properties. The first one is called commutative, and this is commutative property of addition. If you don't recall what that is, basically it means order doesn't matter. You can switch up the order of the numbers being added. You're going to get the same result. So for instance, 4 plus 5, if you change the order and made 5 plus 4, you're still going to get 9 either way. The order did not change the result. And so why we're going to do commutative properties, because sometimes we're going to have positive and negative numbers added together, and not all the positives are going to be together, not all the negatives are going to be together, and it just makes it a little harder to add things up, although it might not be. It's kind of a condensing way to combine all of your positive numbers together and combine all of your negative numbers together. So let's go through an example. Say we have 5 plus 6 plus -1 plus -4 plus 3. Okay? All right. So commutative property says we can change the order of these numbers, and I'm going to say let's put all of our positive numbers grouped together or together in order, and then we'll put all of our negative numbers together. So I'm going to put 5 plus 6. I'm going to skip this one and just jump over here to the 3. And now I'm going to add my negatives. Okay, so that's commutative property. We change the order. It's not going to affect the result. We're going to get the same result. Now we're going to use associative property. And again, if you don't remember what that is, you can use associative property for addition or multiplication. And that basically means that you can change the grouping symbols if all of the operations are addition or all the operations are multiplication, and then the result will not change. So for instance, if we had like 2 plus 3 plus 4, that's 5 plus 9, so that's going to give us 9. Well, we can instead say 2 plus the group of 3 plus 4, because 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 2 is 9. Whoops, 9. So you're going to get the same result. So we can change the grouping symbols, or we could create grouping symbols. So in this last one here, we changed the order. Now, what I want to do is just focus on all the positives and all the negatives. Okay, so let me rewrite this here. So we got 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus the quantity of -1 plus -4. Okay, so the quantity of 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus the quantity of -1 plus -4. Now we know that when we add positives, we're going to combine all those numbers together to get the sum. So that's going to be 11 plus 3 is 14. And then we also know that when we have two negatives, we're really just adding those negatives. Okay, we owe $1, we owe $4, now we owe $5. Okay, and recently we talked about adding positive and negative numbers. When we have a positive and we add a negative, or vice versa, we're basically subtracting, and the sign of the answer will take on the sign of the higher number. In this case, it will be a positive. So 14 take away 5 is 9, and it's going to be a positive 9. Now, I know that took a long time to go through this problem here, but this is a pretty fast way to work a math problem. And again, this was kind of an easy problem. But when you get into a longer string of numbers or decimals or fractions, it could be pretty cumbersome to go left to right and just follow order of operations. Let's just do one more. And if you want to try the problem yourself, feel free to do so. And then towards the end of the video, I'll have the answer for you. So, my example, and I'm going to write kind of small because there's a large string of numbers here. I'll zoom out a little bit. So, we've got -7 plus -3 plus 4 plus -6 plus 1 plus -10. Okay, commutative property means we're going to combine, our like signs. In this case, I'm going to put the negatives first. It's not going to be a big deal if I put them first or second. So -7 plus -3 plus -6 plus -10. And then I have two positive numbers. Okay, now I want to use associative property, and I'm going to group all my negatives and group my positives. All of these are negatives, so I'm just going to add them. 7 and 3 is 10, 16, 26. That's a -26, and that's going to be a +5. When I have a negative, adding or negative number plus a positive number, I'm really subtracting. The sign will be the same sign as the larger number, so it's a -21.